Well, a great job done by the recovery crews, the first responders, all of our officials and volunteers to repair that tyre wall down the end of the main straight round by the Husqvarna hairpin. And now a magnificent field run, about 20 odd cars lining up for the High Q Components Formula First race of the weekend. And Sheridan Bonner joins us after some quick engine change. Which particular car?
Afternoon, Clint. Yeah, it'll be Andrew Tierney's car that's had an engine change, and it took us just on an hour to do it. We were looking for a misfire. Probably it was actually engine change.
So once again, we're straight back into the world of drafting, slipstreaming, and learning your racecraft. At the moment it's Brent McConkie, Chris Symon, Billy Fraser, Amy Smith, and of course interesting with Ronan Murphy. We were just talking about him and his qualifying and racing career coming through that Speed Sports Scholarship, and Granddad Kevin and Dad Greg just quite happy to pull back and let you guys sort of take control and let him find his own way in the world of motor racing. What's the go?
Yeah, it's quite good. Kevin just sort of drops him off, and that's all we hear from him. He does a pretty solid job with all our scholarship drivers and all our drives. There's a big crash in the back there.
Whoa, that hairpin. Gee, it's the second time today already, and two cars have just gone bang into the side of each other. So we've got 22, Barry Holden, he's just come back into the class.
And that's the other one's Kyan Davey in the green number 12 car. They look like they're stuck. It'll be probably a safety car actually.
So it's still Brodie McConkie, who got off to a good start from 28, Chris Symon. Maybe localised yellow in that area, but they're in a bad part of the track, so we never know.
There's the
yellow car, safety car, the Lexus safety car's back out on track, so it's going to be one of those stop-start Saturdays, and the good thing is they don't have to build anything here. Don't have to repair any damage. Beautiful looking Lexus safety car down there. Just go to lexus.co.nz and have a chat with your local dealer, and you too can experience amazing those beautiful 5 litre V8s. So just getting the two untangled at the hairpin, so it looks like it's just a racing incident.
Yeah, it looks like those two are actually the innocent. It looks like Kyan and Barry Mott the innocent parties in that one, and they were on the outside and they've been hooked up at the hairpin. They looks like they're on the live stream. They just gestured to each other that you're right. And, it's good to see, obviously. Just caught it as the camera changed to the exit of the hairpin and going off the track.
So we've got Barry Holden, 22. Both out of the car, which is good. Both receiving attention from the medical crews. There's the field stream. Oh, there's the twing. So it was just a touch. Just taking a look on the replay back on the big screen at the moment, or on our live stream. Just a simple little wee touch.
Looked like he might have just clipped Nathan Cedinio's rear wheel, and Barry Holden has, and it's fired him into Kyan Davey, and Louis Ridshaw sort of went off in sympathy.
Quite some sort of ricochet, wasn't it? Nothing in it really, but just where they actually connected, and bang, it's just the domino effect.
Yeah, it's quite wide going down to the hairpin there, and it tightens up real quick all of a sudden, so I think they've all just been called out by that.
So this is the High Q Components for the first race one of the weekend over 8 laps. 2 down, time certain. So we'll just keep going with the flow. Track's in beautiful condition. Just going to see if they can get these two cars away from that hairpin and get them on the truck, so the field can resume racing.
Didn't look like there was too much damage to those cars. Hopefully they can get back into it, get them off the track.
It's a shame that they can't get them started though, isn't it? Because there's obviously a bit more work for you guys to do.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that car, that green car there. It looks like I've got some more work to do once I've finished here.
It's not the one you've just changed the motor on, is it?
No, it's not, thankfully.
And if you've got a team of about 5, how do you split that up? where you've got 5 guys looking after 5 cars?
Yeah, normally we just have an engineer for each car, and then as a team we look after them all. So driver-wise, there's an engineer to each driver.
Mr. Ed looks happy. That's the horse.
He's quite happy there. No worries about the racing today. And then as a whole, we look after the car. Like myself and another engineer, Jonathan, we change the engine in the other car while the other crew prepared the other 4. So it's a good way down at Symon Motorsport that we get these cars keep going and work as a team. And then they actually learn, the drivers also learn that it's a big team sport. It's not just about them and their engineer.
And what about actually learning and talking to you guys as, like, downloading the data or interpreting the data? How do you grow that to improve their confidence on the track as well?
So Dennis Martin is usually being the team manager. He's won 2 championships. He knows how to do it. So we feed off him as engineers, and then the drivers feed off him as a driver coach, and we all come together we're all heading in the same direction. And that means that the drivers are getting the most out of what we're giving to them, and then on the track, hopefully that means that they'll get some good results. And obviously, being rookies most of the time, it's quite hard to get them straight up to the front. But usually, by the end of the season, we're knocking on the doors for wins every time.
Glad you can join us. We're live streaming now. Our Speedworks Motorsport Championship. And trying to get this race restarted with the high Q component. Formula first over 8 laps. Race 1 of the weekend. Will be followed by the Motul Honda Cup. Looks like the guys have got both vehicles off the track now. Can head them back along pit lane. And hopefully once they do that, we should be able to resume racing. What about things like this where how do you sort out restarts from the old safety car and the procedure you have to go through to make sure you don't get, because they always get swamped or caught napping or asleep or not focusing, and the front guy is always trying to get a little bit of a breakaway, isn't he?
Yeah, there's always a bit of fun and games that goes on when the safety car comes in. Hopefully it might come at, yeah, it is going to come in the slap with the lights going off. So Brodie McConkie out in front will be trying to dupe Chris Symon into a bit of a nap. And you'll see him out of the hairpin, he'll slow them right up to crawling speed basically as they all bunch up, and you'll see Brodie, once the safety car comes in, he'll put his foot down, which he has done there, and Chris Symon is a bit of a wake up, so he's going to
he's got to stay right in there. They can't pass it until they get past the control.
That's it. We can overlap a little bit, but you just cannot pass. So
but he can't race until the green flag goes.
No, so it should be all green now, looking at the safety car and all the vehicles inside. Yeah, there's a green light there.
So there we go. We've got the green light. We're back racing, and Chris Symon has done the great job. He hasn't let McConkie get away. In fact, he's grabbed him with the slipstream of the drafting, straight back into the action, back to the turn 1. She's all on.
I might have to check if Chris Symon can hear me, because he's done exactly what he should have done and drafted past him. It wasn't past, but it was right alongside as they went across the start.
The driver coaching worked very well.
There we go.
And Billy Fraser was right up there as well, so he didn't miss a beat. But poor old McConkie, I suppose that's one in this particular class, because you can get caught by the draft and the slipstreaming, then you can be caught out.
Yeah, I mean, we love coming to this point, especially along the fullback straight this time. And it's just a massive draft fest down the back straight. You look at all those cars, they're actually still in the draft. They might not look like they're competing with, because all the cars are in the draft, they're actually in the game.
And McConkie, even though he got drafted, he's just drafted them back. He's gone right down the end of the back straight, late and hard under braking. He got that draft and he's regained the lead at the hairpin where he lost it. From the restart, Symon has slipped back to second. Billy Fraser third. Great racing as always. What a way to celebrate 50 years of open wheeler racing with the Formula V Formula First Championship. Symon now holding off the challenge of Rex Head, Cox, Billy Fraser.
I think Brodie McConkie's something wrong with the transponder there. It's just dropped off the page, but he's definitely out in front, and he's got a bit of a gap now, which is a surprise.
Which would be good for him, because then he can break that slipstream in the draft.
Yeah, he'll be hoping to keep that.
Well, I think Chris Symon got sort of caught up in a battle with Billy Fraser as he goes down the outside, number 14, the young teenager, having a really good look at the school teacher who currently leads the series. Reese Hendel-Cox trying to have a look down the inside as they go back into the hairpin. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, too wide. McConkey holding on, Simon. And I think Hendel-Cox is what snuck up into third there.
That just shows that the power of that draft. There was a massive gap coming on the straight, and Chris Simon was right up behind the gearbox of Brodie McConkey.
So we may have lost a lap with the repair to the track after the earlier incident, but gee, straight away from the get-go, they're into it.
Yeah, they're definitely fighting for it this time as they come across the line all too wide. And one of our rookies, Thomas Boniface, the rookies with the orange numbers, he's right in here trying to get through to a podium, perhaps a win. Side by side through the uses with Billy Fraser there, sliding in the front.
So it's McConkey still out in front. Chris Simon's done a 1:14. Reese Hendel-Cox a 1:13. Billy Fraser a 1:14. Thomas Boniface a 1:13.6. Taylor Hurst a 1:14.3. Amy Smith in 6th, a 1:13.7. Ron Carter a 1:14.2. Liam Foster, number 48, a 1:14.2. Ronan Murphy, the rookie racer, a 1:15.6. 4 wide into the hairpin. Who's going to blink first? 67, isn't it? It's Thomas Boniface in the green machine. He's just snuck up real good. And now it's Hendel-Cox in a battle. And they've pushed Chris Simon back into third, but he's still come back into almost fourth, and now he's back up to third.
And you look at it now, that this battle now, Amy Smith's actually tagged on the back of them. She's gained right up over the hill. This will actually be a ripper lap time if we were...
Here they go, spread out across the track like angry bees. For some reason, our timing is still not showing Brodie McConkey actually exists out there from the Company Coast. But he's still doing a good job. He's out in front, number 23. Reese Hendel-Cox out of Edgecombe. He's done a good job. He's got second. He's broken a little bit of that slipstream. Next to the likes of Boniface, Simon, Fraser, Smith, Hurst, Carter, Foster, Murphy up into the top 10 now in 9, and car number 91 doing 1:15.6. Leaders are doing 1:13.7 at the moment.
It's the power of the draft. It's a good couple of seconds as they're going to go 3 wide. This is great stuff. The guys at the back, Taylor Hurst and Ron Carter and Liam Foster, they actually caught up to this. So going into the last sort of lap.
Oh, Chris Simon! He grabbed the lead going into the hairpin, but he just about overcooked it coming out of the hairpin. And wouldn't you know it, out of nowhere, he's drafted into the lead. The man who dominated the opening round, he's going to pinch it from them. It's like he's stolen it.
No, they won't like this. They won't want him to go 4 from 4.
He was nowhere at one stage. As they come down, oh! Big drama along the line.
Oh,
2 of them into the wall.
Big hit, Taylor Hurst. Hopefully he's all right. That was a huge hit. I'm not sure what happened there. Billy seemed to maybe get lost on the... Looks like the safety car's out. This is if they're all slowing down.
Well, we should have 8 laps, and that should be the finish of the race. So it's an 8 lap.
Okay.
And we've had 8 laps, even under the safety car. Oh, number 60. Real drama down that main straight.
He's moving. Looks like he's trying to get out, actually, but I'd say he's a bit sore after that. There's Billy Fraser just trundling down the grass in front of our commentary box. It looked like he just made it. They were all trying to go down the inside, and all of a sudden he shot left, and I'm not sure if he clipped Taylor Hurst or not.
So just confirming a dramatic finish to the high Q components. Formula First, man, they never fail to produce exciting races. And the 50-year celebration tonight, there's going to be a lot of tongue wagging going on tonight. Chris Simon, out of nowhere, 4 from 4. He was gone.
I haven't seen in the last few years anyone that can do 4 from 4, especially here at Pukekohe. We thought it was going to be a bit of a lottery.
Well, he'd been swamped, but he did make the most of that ability to get that late draft down the outside at the back straight. So Chris Simon first, Reese Hendel-Cox second, Thomas Boniface third. That's your top 3. Then it's Smith, Foster, Carter, Ronan Murphy coming home in 7th. But the real drama is what happened with the big clash with the likes of Billy Fraser and Taylor Hurst as they were crossing the finishing line, and Brodie McConkey.
He's good, although it was a big accident in the fence for Taylor. It's good to see that he was actually moving in the car. That was a big hit, and there'll be a fair bit of damage to the front right of that car, I'd say.
Isn't it funny? Brody McConkey, whose transponder lost, as soon as they come back to the line, comes back in time just to say he's down in 16th.
Yeah.
He said, "Why? What's wrong when I was leading?" So 2 cars parked right in front of us here, side by side. So all of the crews now doing a good job with the medical staff, the safety staff, fire crews, just making sure that both cars and drivers are okay.
Yeah, I think Billy will be all right. It looks like he just had a spin and he must have just touched Taylor. And he's just called his car across the line to be classified as a finisher and take some valuable points. He was fairly high up in the top 3 going into Pukekohe, and he will be wanting to stay up there to fight for this championship.
Remember the championship situation going into this race. Chris Symon, he was first with 12.37. Second, Liam Foster with 12.11. Billy Fraser third with 11.68. And Reese Hendel-Cox, he was fourth with 1.009. And then Amy Smith back in the 900s in regards to points. Ronan Murphy with that rookie championship, 857. So that's actually a good result for Reese Hendel-Cox. And Thomas Boniface, who was way down in 17th, he's picked up some valuable points getting onto the podium finish in that opening race of the High Q Components Formula First, and a dramatic finish as always, Sheridan.
Yeah, no, it's always this round here. Like we were fairly excited about coming here to the whole back straight because it takes out to be honest, a bit of driving out of the track, and we're going to get this great.
Well, you
close
saw it,
racing.
didn't you? Some fantastic passing manoeuvres going down, and the guys going out wide, 1, 2, it's because they're small cars, the old 1200cc VW motors, and they can spread out. And that the guys were making the most of it, you know.
I mean, you just got to look at that top 4 within nearly half a second. It's well, you've got to include Brody McConkey in there. So top 5 within half a second. It's doesn't really get much closer than that.
Pretty close to the old freight train as it rumbles past Pukekohe Park Raceway, and there's some of the crews down that part of the track. So the good news is hopefully both drivers are okay. Bit of work to be done on those cars though. That's going to be a bit of a long night.
Yeah, hopefully not. We're got the 50th anniversary celebrations tonight, so hopefully there's not much damage to all these cars, and everyone can get them repaired and then have a bit of an enjoyable night tonight.
And then back out for more racing again tomorrow.
And yeah, we'll do it again tomorrow. We're a bit later in the program tomorrow, thankfully, after tonight's celebration, but it'll definitely be more fantastic Formula First racing.
Yeah, it was pretty hectic. Obviously, the safety car in the first lap made things interesting, cut the race down a bit. Sort of just tried to clear off, and it didn't work like obviously it did in Manfield, and raced hard, and everyone was close, and then in the last lap managed to take the lead to the hairpin from 4th and just go over the line in 1st. And yeah, I think there was a little bit of carnage behind, but other than that, it was a great race.